Hi, my name is Lorraine Watry and welcome to my studio. I am a watercolor artist and I've worked with watercolor for 26 years now, and I thought I would start a new series of videos where I go over different tips, tricks, and techniques for working with watercolor. And hopefully these short videos will help you in your journey, and if you have a question or a technique that you would like to see, please comment below and I will try to accommodate that in a future video. Hi, in today's video I am going to go over some orange watercolors that I have on my palette, and then also some of the mixes that I made recently for a painting that I was working on of flamingos. And so I had looked at the painting or the reference photo and realized that there were a lot of coral type oranges on the image, and then a variety of other oranges, and I will place an image of the painting that I finished recently at the end of this video, along with a couple other paintings that I have with orange color in them, so that you can see how I use orange. But I wanted to try to give myself some information, so I will do this kind of thing when I haven't worked with a color very much, or I want to find a new mix. And so just to quickly go over some things that I had done in the past, this is Hansa Light on the left, and then a variety of reds, and let's see, Pearl Scarlet is a red as well on the right. So this is Hansa Light everywhere, and then Quin Rose, Quin Coral, Quin Red, and Pearl Scarlet. And Pearl Scarlet is a very warm red. It's on the way toward orange. And then you can see the variety of color that you can get from that mix. And then this is Aureolin Hue, I believe. And then this is Quin Rose, Quin Coral, Quin Red. Oh, I actually flipped those two when I was applying them, I believe, so I have my arrows marking that, and then Pearl Scarlet at the bottom, so you can see those. And then at the bottom I have New Gamboge, and then I did these in a different order, so I have the Pearl Scarlet here, and this would be in place of Cadmium Red. And then I have Quin Coral, Quin Red, and Quin Rose. And because coral colors generally are cooler orange, then I wanted to use mixes, if I was going to use mixes, that would give me that cooler orange peachy color. So for me, the Quin Coral and the Hansa Light would be a very good mix to get into that coral range. And probably down here, the Quin Rose and New Gamboge. Now this is a deeper coral color, but that would also be a good option. The Quin Red, but just something to give you some ideas of things that you could play with if you want to look at those colors. And then at the bottom down here, I did a mix of Quin Coral and my Paranone Orange, and I didn't label or put those as the pure color on either side, but it ranges a little on the pinker side over here and then slightly oranger on that end. And then on this chart, I have Quin Coral with Permanent Orange, Quin Rose and the Permanent Orange, and then this is Paranone Orange and both of those reds, Quin Coral and Quin Rose. And I'm actually not sure what that mix is. It's been a while since I did this. Here is the Permanent Orange, so same as those two here, and then the Quin Red. I wanted to just try a longer swatch of it to see kind of the variation I could get within that. And then on this side I have Transparent Pearl Orange, and it's a very dark orange. Here it's not showing up, it's a little more muted, but it's a very dark orange. And then I have Quin Coral and Quin Rose that I mixed with that. Permanent Orange and Pearl Scarlet. This is Pearl Orange and Quin Coral and Quin Rose. And I think that was it on those. So I will pull out the colors that I have on my palette that are oranges, and I will tell you what I used in the end for the painting. And I will start with, this is Permanent Orange. And Permanent Orange is a transparent orange. It's very close to New Gamboge, and it's leaning toward yellow quite a bit, or a pumpkin orange, I guess you could call it. And it is low staining. It's a number 2 in staining, and it is non-granular. And this is Daniel Smith. I believe all of these are Daniel Smith. So that's Permanent Orange. And just by itself, it's a really pretty color. And then I have Paranone Orange, and Paranone Orange is very staining. It's a number 4 in staining, and it is semi-transparent, and it is non-granular. So there's at its full strength. And then I'll just use some water to fade it down. And I will label these at the end, because I know my bigger charts were probably a little confusing. Maybe I'll take some pictures of those as well and put them at the end of the video. So there'll be lots of little images at the end. So this is my transparent Parole Orange. And I have chosen to have these on my palette just because they're colors that I feel like I will use and do every now and then, not just for mixing a coral color, but for other things as well. Okay, so that's the transparent Parole Orange, and it is transparent, and I have to look at the back of my palette here for a second. It is non-granular, and it is low staining. It's a number 2 in staining. And then the other color that I used a lot in the flamingo painting is Quin Coral. And because, one, I wanted coral type colors, it already lent itself to that, obviously, because it is leaning that way, the manufacture of it. And so I had that in there, but then I would often mix it with the Paranone Orange, and I'll show you that in a second. So that's the Quin Coral. And then I would often do a mix of this color. Actually, I would do 2 mixes. I would do this with the Permanent Orange to get a warmer mix. So I'm mixing right now for this one. I'm mixing this and this. And then if you fade it out, it gives a nice coral. And then the other mix, because this Paranone Orange leans already, it's a little cooler. That's going to be a closer coral feel, I think. It depends also on how much I have of the Quin Coral in it. And then the last thing that I would do, and I did a variety of mixes and things. I did not use the transparent Parole Orange. I may have tried it once or twice, but that was not used as much in this painting. I would use the Quin Lilac because it's leaning toward purple, and that helps give me a deeper color, first of all, but then also it could be used in the shadow parts of the painting. I'm actually just dabbing my brush on my towel over there, if you see me reaching across and wondering what I'm doing. So I'm pulling out the Paranone Orange, and I used Paranone and the Quin Lilac, and could get a darker color, and depending on how much, I'm going to go ahead and push the lilac up here in the upper part. I could then get a deeper orange color, and it worked well in shadows, and then it was a variety that I used in the coral range as well. So these tended to be the colors that I ended up using out of all of the colors that I listed before. And one of the ones that I might have used a little more would be the Pearl Orange and the Quin Coral, and I just did not have the Pearl Orange on my palette, and then I got going with these other mixes and didn't end up using it as much, so, or actually at all, I believe. So I will go ahead and label these, and I'll put these charts at the back so that you can see what they look like, and I hope you give painting with some oranges a try. And I will, as I said, put a few of my paintings at the back along with the flamingo painting that I just finished. And I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have a tip, trick, or technique in watercolor that you would like to see, please leave a comment below and I will add it to my list. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.